All right, YouTube visitors, fellow Christians, I'm going to cover just some comments by the editor of this newsletter that I'm reading from on the markets by Artie McMaster. He says, the markets are in the eye of a hurricane. Turning points are clustering in early April 6th through the 7th now, and at just after April 18th. The US dollar is the main focus of turning points for April, with the other markets clustering around the US dollar's projected turning point dates. The US dollar holds the potential for a major turning point. The first few days of May, May 1st being the high day of the year, or for witchcraft, the birth date of globalist communism and of the Illuminati. You remember the Illuminati? I think it began in 1776, May 1st, 1776, by Adam Weishaupt. Turkey's foreign minister said, quote, wars of religion, unquote, are coming to Europe. The deep state neocons are totally in charge of the Trump administration. When it comes to imperial foreign wars of U.S. aggression, when it comes to the United States as a tool of the globalist U.S. military-industrial complex, when it comes to the U.S. empire, when it comes to the U.S. as a totalitarian surveillance state, the Trump administration is a clone of Clinton, Bush, Obama, and Hillary. In other words, captive to the U.S. deep state empire. Goldman Sachs and globalist Anglo-Zionist neocons run Trump. What else should we expect from a New York City-based, ruthless, narcissistic, egotistic celebrity, shamelessly self-promoting, billionaire oligarch who is void of any consistent moral or philosophical base, possessed of just a wasteland of pragmatism? I have warned about this aspect of Trump since the get-go. Trump has been a big city global wheeler-dealer all of his life. All of his silver spoon privileged life, I might add. Trump could certainly be subject to the dirty laundry pressure of the U.S. deep state surveillance agencies, certainly have accumulated, let me back it up. Trump could certainly be subject to the dirty laundry pressure the U.S. deep state surveillance agencies certainly have accumulated on him over all these years. A guy like Trump has a closet full of dirty laundry, plus the personality of a bully. Fits hand in glove with using the power of the military against one's perceived enemies. A guy like Trump has a closet full of dirty laundry, plus the personality of a bully fits hand in glove with using the power of the military against one's perceived enemies. These are indeed dangerous times. Yeah, the Bible says in the last days, perilous times shall come, and we're there right now. Just read Timothy, the letter of Paul to Timothy on that. Just in, Trump fired over 50 cruise missiles into Syria. Russia is reportedly shooting down the Tomahawks. Russia and the United States are therefore exchanging fire. In reality, the United States and Russia are at war. Interesting perspective, isn't it? All this black swan military conflict occurred precisely on my projected April 6th to 7th turning point that I completed last December 23rd, 2016, and featured at the start of this month. Iraq has gone rogue on OPEC. Planned 600,000 BPD of crude oil. Output increase. Chinese M&A deals have quadrupled over the past 3 years. Chinese beef consumption per capita increased 33% from 2012 to 2016. Chinese villagers are willing to pay as much as $26,000 for female corpses they can bury with dead, unmarried male relatives. The practice of ghost marriages, quote, ghost marriages, unquote, where Chinese pay their respects to the deceased with a gift of a, quote, bride in the afterlife, persist in rural areas despite the exorbitant cost to families. All right, well, I could read more, but that's the financial news part of the newsletter. There's a lot of links. And I could give you the headlines, and you might be able to Google these articles. But anyway, that'll be it for tonight. Get some gold and silver if you don't have any. The stock market's in a bubble. Be careful. We don't know how much longer it's going to go. Could be signs of topping out right now. But I think gold and silver will do very well over the next 5 years. Silver imports have been actually increasing. So, or rather, excuse me, silver imports have been decreasing while silver consumption has been increasing. So, decrease on the imports and increase on consumption. Some of the experts are saying that somebody, could be Goldman Sachs or JP Morgan, is buying up some silver and stashing it away, probably hoping for much higher prices, maybe 50, 100, who knows, $200 per ounce silver. So silver and gold are real money. Just remember that. And in the Bible, for thousands of years, gold and silver has been considered real money, real wealth. And our paper money used to be backed by gold and silver, but it's no longer backed by gold and silver, since FDR took us off the gold standard in the 30s, and Tricky Dick Richard Nixon, in 1971, August 15th, 1971, refused to exchange paper dollars for gold. So, and that's something that's very seldom even mentioned in the history books, by the way. I had a video one time of the most significant events of the 20th century, and that particular date, August 15th, I think it was August 15th, 1971, that Nixon refused, and that's because inflation was becoming rampant, and that's when gold, remember in 1980, just 9 years later after that event, gold hit $850 an ounce, and silver hit close to $50 an ounce when the Hunt brothers tried to corner the silver market. Well, that got shut down and silver collapsed. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. Until we meet again.